Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now you probably can't tell, but I'm sunburnt to hell. I'm rosy cheeked and crimson. So all you pale faces out there, better watch your step, because the Redskins coming for you. Right, folks, let's get this over and done with. I've been talking about Wolfman, the Blumhouse and Universal, for a long time now, since it first got touted when it's Ryan Gosling was going to be playing the Wolfman. Then it all got changed around. The old director left along with Ryan Gosling. Then they came back again, so director Leigh Whannell is back on board, and Ryan Gosling is back on board as an executive producer. But everything else seems to have changed, and I've discussed it a lot. Last week we were waiting for the teaser to drop. They promised it, Blumhouse promised it. It didn't arrive on the day. It didn't arrive the next day. In fact, it took another few days for it to finally kick in. And before we got the trailer, Halloween Horror Nights at Orlando Universal have this huge festival. There's directors there, there's monsters there, there's all haunted house attractions, ghost train rides, all sorts of Universal horror stuff. And they put up the poster for Wolfman, which again I covered that, just showing a cabin in the woods, enigmatic, atmospheric, eerie, woods, cabin, Evil Dead, isolation, yes, beasts prowling around in the trees, that sort of thing. And that was it, with a nice little weird font for Wolfman, because it's not called the Wolfman, it's just called Wolfman. And then they unleashed what apparently isn't a joke, actually is the monster costume that's going to be the Wolfman in the film. And well, you've seen it. If I can find a link to it, because it all came on Instagram and all that, but other YouTubers have talked about it and they've got better editing abilities than me, or rather they've got some editing abilities, I have none. And they can cut to imagery of this guy prancing around in what I can only describe as looking like a homeless leper. He ain't hairy. He has got hair, but little white wisps, like this guy here, but he's nowhere near as much of it. White wisps, long, straggly bits, looking like some kind of diseased Fu Manchu, or even David Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China, blended with John Carpenter himself. And John Carpenter apparently was there as well. Was he actually on stage and he took pictures of him by mistake? Who knows? The big giveaway, this creature wasn't smoking 10 ciggies at the same time. But anyway, this creature pranced around on the stage, going doing all this kind of stuff, like, and one of these sort of poses. Bulky in a sort of dark ripped up suit and sort of big strange mosher boots as well, for what I could tell. Folks, that was not a werewolf. It had pointy ears, it had a great big immobile face. You could tell it was just a mask. It wasn't any articulation to it whatsoever. And great big malformed hands, doing all this swipey stuff. Looked friggin' atrocious. And straight away I thought, that's not meant to be the creature. Of course it isn't. There's nothing remotely wolfish about it, apart from, yeah, it's got a few fangs, it's got pointy ears. But one of the big clues in the name Wolfman is wolf. Fair, fangs, maybe a tail, I don't know. But you can run on all fours if you're a werewolf. If you're a wolfman, you're on two legs, upright, bipedal. That's what I've always said anyway. But it's horses for courses, isn't it? Now, there's nothing werewolfy at all about this creature. It looks like, yeah, something like that without the mask on. That, in case you don't know, is from Hammer's The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. A chop-socky vampire movie, which I love, by the way. And these vampires look amazing. But, where was I going with that? Yeah, it looks like, Three Fingers from the Wrong Turn franchise. It was a pretty nasty looking thing, but a pure, redneck retard throwback thing. But that's not a werewolf. And this thing is not a werewolf. So I thought straight away, they're taking the piss. Blumhouse actually have got a sense of humour. That can't be what's in the finished movie. Well, apparently it is. Now, there's someone, I forgot his name now, but he's an insider. You know, he gets the scoop, he gets the lowdown, he gets all the leaks from the industry. And he has said he's got it confirmed that it is the finished deal. Only it looks better in the movie. Well, of course it'll look better in the movie. As long as you don't show it on camera, keep it in the shadows, lighting, editing, you know, that thing I can't do. And yeah, it could look a lot better, but it still will not look like a werewolf. It looks nothing like a werewolf. I'm still thinking, or at least I was still thinking, that this is a prank. Blumhouse are pranking us. And I was taking it personally because I've took the piss out of them so often now. I despise most of the output. The Halloween travesties they came up with. The Exorcist, oh my god. Leigh Whannell, again, who's directing Wolfman, did their adaptation of The Invisible Man. Now, I know it's got its fans, and it's an accomplished piece of work. I just don't think it's a very good film, myself, personally. But I still had high hopes for this. So, are they taking the piss? Well, if you look at the teaser, which did drop the teaser, right? Again, I was going to do videos on all this, but I'm devoting too much time to what I really think is going to be an absolute misfire. Again, the teaser. You do see something in the shadows, which does appear to have long white hair. Now, what I think is going on, because the story is a young family, mummy, daddy, little girl, leave the big city and go to a cabin in the woods. But on the way there, they are attacked by this animal type thing, and daddy gets injured. And whilst trying to defend them from this thing which is prowling around the cabin in the woods, he begins to change. So suddenly he becomes the threat to them as well. So you've got not one, but you've got two creatures in this movie, at least. Or you've got a praying mantis as well, because at the start of the teaser, they waste too much time showing, I don't know, a woodlouse crawling along a piece of wood, and a praying mantis. Freeze frame. Mantis. Got it. Is that which is some kind of arty-farty way of saying, it's nature, you know, the beasts will win, it's the food chain. Anyway, but you meet the family, and you hear about, well, something was out there, but it sounded like an animal, but it walked upright like a man. You don't know who's really saying all of this. Like, you see like meat hanging up in some locker somewhere, and there's like a flashback to the big city, where initially the film, when they first touted this with Ryan Gosling, was going to be set urban, so in New York, or anyway, a big city. And it would be a literal update of the Wolfman. You're hearing the score for the original 1941 classic Lon Chaney Jr. Wolfman, a film you guys know how much I love that. But that clearly is not the case now. And Christopher Abbott, who's the star of this movie, the Wolfman, initially they called him Lawrence Talbot, Larry Talbot, which is the character that Lon Chaney Jr. played in the Wolfman series of movies. It's not called that at all, it's called Blake. But they definitely said he was called Lawrence Talbot initially. Now he's called Blake. And his wife's played by, what's her name, Julie Garner or something. Julia Garner. And Matilda Firth plays Ginger, the daughter. So he gets the bite put on him. He becomes a threat. Now, I don't know if you've seen it, but I talked about it. I haven't reviewed it because I didn't think it was worth reviewing. Kit Harington, Jon Snow, played a werewolf in recently The Beast Within, not the original 1982 Philip Morris transformation movie. This was a new allegorical, metaphorical take on werewolfery. He's basically an abusive husband with addiction problems, but he happens to be a werewolf as well. It's a family curse. And he and his daughter and his wife and his dad live in a compound isolated out in the woods. And he becomes a threat to his own family. And what's the plot of this? It's that. It's basically that again. So it's not even like a re-adaptation of the original Wolfman. It's vastly far removed from that. You know, we're basing this, well, I'm basing it on a 90-second teaser. And to be honest with you, as teasers go, it did its job. It did just tease things. It didn't show too much, which we know is the bane of trailers these days. They show everything. And there was a few, that straggly, long, white-haired thing seems to be in the background during one shot, maybe even two. We see something it looks hairless, running on all fours through the woods. And you see a figure leap off a balcony, like that human fly. But at the end of it, because they can't resist Wolfman. I like the way they did it. The font for Wolfman came in like you were looking at Alien, the font for Alien, and Alien Romulus, because they nicked it as well. So like little whoosh, 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 and throughout the teaser, and makes the slogan Wolfman. And then you get that coming January 17th, 2025. And then you get the little shock bit at the end where you've got Mummy and presumably daughter are in a car, and a clawed but mostly hairless arm comes through the windscreen like that. And then you cut to another arm smashing through the side window, but it's covered in shaggy hair. What gives? I give! Two monsters. One's got not much hair, one has got plenty of hair. I do tend to think that Blumhouse are blindsiding us here. The thing with hair like that is what puts the bite on Blake, I suppose. And Blake becomes a much more traditional, I hope, Wolfman. See, again, Blumhouse, why would you, if that was genuinely the costume and you don't show that monster in your teaser, why days before you release the teaser would you unleash it on stage for all the people and fans at Universal Orlando? Why would you do that? And then confirm that, oh, that is our monster. Folks, they're taking the piss. They are. I don't believe a word of this. I really don't. Cheers, you all. There's no whiskey in the hizzy. So that's just water. Dearie me. How times have changed. But there's extensive makeup and prosthetic crew members listed on IMDb. So, and I'm hoping there's some gore, but I've got a feeling this won't be as nasty as we want it to be. So, my hopes for this have really come down. If that genuinely is the Wolfman, you know, buckle up, because Blumhouse are going to get battered for that. That is an absolute fucking shambles of a creature. It looks so stupid. It looks like it's took a wrong turn. It's Wolfman took a wrong turn and ended up in Orlando. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? Leigh Whannell, it's all filmed. It's filmed in Australia, or is it filmed in New Zealand? I've forgotten now. But it's filmed down under, as so many films are these days. You know that Michael Biehn Hicks has got a killer kangaroo movie coming out. Oh my god! So what? He's suddenly moved down under, and the trailer for that Killaroo. I forgot what it's called now. I have to dig that out. My god, it's gory, it's violent, it's a bloody big nasty kangaroo. Now I know people down under do say, don't get on the wrong side of a kangaroo. People from the rest of the world, like, oh, they're lovely. Oh, they jump, and they've got marsupial little pouches to put their babies in. Oh, they're great, little pointy ears and all that, like your Wolfman. But oh, they pack a punch, they do. And this one seems to be eating people, and they play it serious. But Michael Biehn's in there as well. You know, Kyle Reese. What's happening? Oh God. So I really don't know what to make of this now. Wolfman it's got no relation to the Lon Chaney classic. It's just in name alone. That is it. That is it. And if you've got a hairless werewolf, it's been done before. There was a really lousy British werewolf movie called, I think it was called The 13th Hour. I've got it somewhere. It had the lad who played Malfoy from Harry Potter. But the werewolves in that, they're hairless. And wasn't there something else as well? That Boyd Holbrook, or Hal Boydrook, in the film Cursed, which was originally 8 pieces of silver, which a lot of people love it. Very atmospheric, gothic, sort of 18th century tale. A detective story out in the wilds, but with werewolf action taking place. And the wolves in that, they didn't look like werewolves either. It was a variation on lycanthropy. As I say, a lot of people like that movie. And I thought it was handsomely mounted. Looked great with all lots of torchlit prowling through the woods, people searching for victims or on the monster, and lots of mist. Very atmospheric and very sort of quaint and, you know, elegant style. But just didn't have much in the way of frights or even much gore for that matter. And a werewolf movie, you need those two things. I've said many times that werewolves are often used as an allegorical sort of statement. Like The Beast Within, it's about addiction, it's about abuse, it's about believing that you're something that you're not, abusing your power. And yeah, so werewolves can be that sort of thing, you know, but you want them to be the Howling. You want them to be American Werewolf. Chomp, chomp, blood. Oh, blood everywhere. I don't think you're going to get it with this. There's a very, very small cast list. There's like four names. And can you even believe that? If they called him Larry Talbot to begin with and now his name is Blake. You see, the backlash that Blumhouse have had for, well, the Halloween movies, not just from myself. I know they were very popular and made a lot of money, but there was a big critical backlash to them. I despise them. Then they did Exorcist Believer. Oh, well, they soon saw the error of their ways there, with a catastrophic failure there. And now, oh, we're making a trilogy. Tip for you guys, don't come out announcing we're doing a trilogy until your first film has actually made some money and warrants another story. I hate dickheads that do this. Oh, announcing way ahead, you know, it's going to be a new trilogy. Oh, fuck off. Well, Exorcist didn't work out that way, did it? So Exorcist Deceiver, which was going to be the next one, got kiboshed. And that director, who I will not name anymore, was ousted. But they're still going ahead in a different direction with The Exorcist. Well, we'll see. But Blumhouse also want to get their poisonous mitts on the thing. Since way back in 2019, maybe even earlier, they were talking about doing that. Oh, we're going to retell it. We're going to tell actual John W. Campbell's original story. Yeah, John Carpenter and Bill Lancaster came up with a very, very good interpretation of the original novella, Who Goes There? Or Frozen Hell, if you want to get the longer version of it, which has only recently sort of come to light. But you can guarantee John Carpenter won't stop them. He gave them Michael Myers on a silver platter, so he will not hang on to the thing. He doesn't care about his own creations, John Carpenter. So he can make some money, buy some video games and a 6-pack and some more ciggies. He's happy. He'd sell off his own body parts. But if Blumhouse do get the thing, oh God, there'll be hell to pay. Frozen hell to pay. So, folks, I mean, I look more like a fucking werewolf than that bloody thing prancing about in Orlando. What is it? Just what the hell is that supposed to be? Now, I've been through the teaser for you. You definitely see something which I think... I didn't freeze frame on it, but just watched it a few times. I thought, oh yeah, that in the background, that could be, yeah, long white hair. Just there isn't much of it on the thing that you see in Orlando. It's just got the wisps coming down, you know. And I don't know. What's wrong with Daddy? Daddy got sick, honey. And now he's going to eat us. Oh, God. It isn't the Wolfman. It's... And I'm not going to pour scorn on it because it's not being a remake of the original. I'm actually quite pleased about that. It might not sound like I am, but I'd rather they did do something different. But they kept on saying we're doing a new adaptation, we're updating it for the modern world. It's going to be the same story, but we're updating it. Well, it clearly isn't anywhere near the same story. It's massively far removed from it. And we're not even certain you've got any Wolfman in it either. I will give you the paw, the big shaggy arm that comes through the car window. Yeah, that looks suitably wolf-like. Well, Wolfman-like. So we could be onto something there. But guys, comment below and let me know, because I'm really I'm confused as hell about this. My heart of hearts tells me that you would not leak your monster if that was your main monster and it looks as shit as that. You would not leak that so massively publicly, would you? That doesn't make any sense at all. Unless they're going to pull the rug from under us. My money right now is on, that is in the movie, but that is not our Wolfman. That is something else. There could be some great tricks in here. There could be some sort of like, these things live in the woods, but their next hybrid offspring in the life cycle is a Wolfman. God, we're going down Alien Romulus route here, aren't we? Oh no. Yeah, I think you would not leak that. If that was the monster and you put that on stage for the world to see, don't put your Wolfman on the stage, Mrs. Miggins. You would have it in the teaser, wouldn't you? The very fact the film's been dumped, postponed, shunted from its Halloween or October release date to January 17th. I mean, I know I've said previously that January is the doldrums of the year. It's the worst, longest, most horrifically boring, bland, dreamless month of the year. After Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, you've got nothing there, nothing. This gap of a year. Well, looking positive at this, I was like, well, we've got a werewolf movie in the middle of January. Well, there's something to look forward to. As far as I was concerned, imagine going to flicks and coming out, it's a windy night, you've got to turn your collar up because it's still frosty. The way the world is at the moment, it'll probably be fucking baking sunshine throughout January. You see, even I'm confused by this. And I was heavily, Wolfman, Wolfman, Wolfman. I hope they don't fuck it up. I know they've done it in the past, but please don't muck up my favourite monster of all time. So what did they go and do? I think they are taking the piss out of me. They should make a movie called Kilt-Man, There's your real werewolf. Kilt Wolfman. Right, folks, I'm out of here. Got some other stuff to discuss later on today. Got a mystery unboxing to do. Yeah. And it really is a mystery because I've got no idea what's in the box. Right. As I say, comment below, let us know what you think. But that ain't no Wolfman. To be honest, they couldn't top the makeup that Rick Baker did for the 2010 remake of The Wolfman. Which is great good fun. It's a naff movie in many ways, but I love it to bits. And it's gory, and Benicio del Toro looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's what I was trying to say first time, and then I stumbled over it. My own fangs got in the way there. Right, folks, I have been much Abby Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, and this ever, what are they thinking in between time? Please keep it kilted, keep it Celtic, and I'm going to see you all later.